Hello, passionate Golden State Warriors fan. We're back with another in-depth analysis of the team that transformed modern basketball. But before we dive into the latest speculations that could change the franchise's destiny, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. That's the best way to ensure you stay up to date with all the latest NBA news. Now, let's get to the point. The Golden State Warriors have solidified themselves as an offensive powerhouse over the past decade, redefining the game with their impeccable ball movement, quick passes, and lethal perimeter shooting. Under Stephen Curry's leadership, the team has won multiple championships and become a model for the entire league. However, to keep competing at the highest level, the team must constantly reinvent itself. And this is where the latest rumors that could shake the NBA come into play. The possible arrival of Ja Morant in San Francisco. Since entering the NBA as the second overall pick in the 2019 draft, Ja Morant quickly became one of the most electrifying players in the league. He won the Rookie of the Year award and rapidly turned the Memphis Grizzlies into a competitive team in the West. With his explosive speed, finishing ability in the paint, and elite court vision, Morant is the kind of player who can alter a franchise's trajectory. His playing style is defined by aggressive drives to the rim, spectacular dunks, and an impressive ability to create opportunities for his teammates. Even with the Grizzlies' rise, the team has struggled to make deep playoff runs, raising questions about Morant's ability to lead them to a championship without additional help. Given this situation, speculation has emerged about a potential move that would pair Morant with Stephen Curry. But what would this trade mean for the Warriors? The Golden State Warriors system revolves around constant ball movement, efficient spacing, and quick decision-making. This demands players with high basketball IQ and adaptability. While Morant thrives on attacking the rim aggressively, he is also an excellent playmaker capable of delivering precise passes and pushing the game's tempo. Imagine an offense where Curry and Morant share playmaking duties. While Curry is the greatest three-point threat in NBA history, Morant could use his speed to break down defenses and create open looks for the Splash Brothers. This combination would make the Warriors' offense even more unpredictable and devastating. Additionally, Morant would bring a new dimension to the team's transition game. The Warriors have always been dangerous in fast breaks, but Morant's explosiveness could elevate this aspect to another level. Defenses would be forced to choose between collapsing to stop his drives or risking leaving Curry and Thompson open for three-pointers. Either way, it would be a defensive nightmare for opponents. Every major acquisition comes at a cost. If Golden State truly wants Morant, they will need to offer Memphis an enticing trade package. This could mean parting with young talents like Jonathan Kuminga or Moses Moody, along with future draft picks. Another crucial factor would be roster adaptation. Morant is used to being the focal point of the Grizzlies' offense, which wouldn't be the case with the Warriors, where ball movement is far more distributed. He would need to adjust his playing style to coexist with Curry and fit into Steve Kerr's system, which prioritizes collective play above all else. However, if this adaptation happens smoothly, we could be looking at a team capable of dominating the NBA for years. Morant would inject energy and youth into the roster, setting up the Warriors for a seamless transition into the post-Curry era without sacrificing competitiveness. If the Warriors really want to bring Ja Morant to San Francisco, this would be one of the boldest trades in recent years. But for this idea to become a reality, we need to analyze the challenges and the impacts that this move would bring for all parties involved. Although the idea of Morant with the Warriors is exciting, there are several factors that make this trade complicated. The first and most obvious is that the Memphis Grizzlies have built their team around Morant. He is the face of the franchise and the player who brought hope to a team that, before his arrival, was far from being considered a serious threat in the West. The Grizzlies would only agree to part with a talent like Morant if they received an extremely advantageous package in return. And here lies the dilemma. Would the Warriors be willing to pay this price? For Memphis to even consider a trade, Golden State would have to offer a package that would likely include Jonathan Kuminga, an explosive young talent who has shown development during the season and has the potential to be a key piece in the future. Moses Moody or Brandon Podziemski, two versatile players who can contribute immediately and still have room to grow. Chris Paul, for salary cap purposes. CP3's contract would be necessary to make the trade financially feasible, and his experience could be valuable for a young team like Memphis. Future draft picks. Given the ages of Curry and Thompson, the Grizzlies could bet on future picks, expecting the Warriors to eventually enter a rebuilding phase. The problem for the Warriors is that giving up so much young talent could compromise the franchise's long-term outlook. In recent years, the front office has been trying to balance the pursuit of championships in the present with the need to prepare the team for the future. Bringing in Morant would help immediately, but in the long run, the team might run out of assets to refresh its core. Another point of concern would be the impact on the salary cap. Morant signed a 5-year max contract with the Grizzlies, which means he would take up a significant portion of the Warriors' salary cap. Since the NBA has strict rules for teams that exceed certain financial limits, Golden State would have to do some juggling to keep the roster competitive without blowing up the payroll even further. If the trade were to happen, Morant would have to go through an adjustment period. With the Grizzlies, he is the center of attention and has the freedom to dominate the ball most of the time. With the Warriors, however, the offense is based on ball movement and collective playmaking. This means that Morant would have to adjust his game to play more off the ball, something that isn't currently his primary trait. However, his physical and technical talent makes him an adaptable player, and under Steve Kerr's guidance, he could evolve into a more complete point guard. One area where Morant would need to improve is his three-point shooting. He has a functional mechanic, but he is not yet a reliable shooter like Curry or Thompson. If he managed to improve this aspect of his game, the Warriors would become an absolute nightmare for any defense. Additionally, his driving ability would add a new element to the Warriors' offense. With Curry and Thompson attracting attention on the perimeter, Morant would have much more space to attack the paint and create plays for his teammates. His ability to pass under pressure would also fit well with the Warriors' fast and fluid style. Defensively, Morant would bring energy and intensity, but he would need to improve his positioning to fit into the Warriors' defensive system. With Draymond Green as his mentor, he could evolve in this aspect and become an even more valuable piece. An important question would be how the team dynamic would change with Morant alongside Curry. Currently, Curry is the undisputed leader of the Warriors, both on and off the court. Morant, on the other hand, is a young and ambitious player who is used to being his team's primary star. For this partnership to work, Morant would need to accept a secondary role alongside Curry, at least initially. However, this transition could be beneficial for his career. He would have the opportunity to learn from one of the greatest players in NBA history and develop his game in a winning environment. Over time, Morant could become Curry's natural successor, ensuring the Warriors remain a dominant force even when the Splash Brothers era comes to an end. If Morant were to join the Warriors, it would completely change the league's landscape. The combination of Curry, Thompson, and Morant would create one of the most dynamic offenses in history, forcing other teams to rethink their defensive strategies. Opponents would have to choose between doubling Curry on the perimeter, trying to contain Morant's drives, or dealing with Thompson's off-ball movement. None of these options would be comfortable, making the Warriors a legitimate championship threat for a few more years. Additionally, this trade could trigger a chain reaction across the NBA. Other teams in the West, such as the Denver Nuggets, Los Angeles Lakers, and Phoenix Suns, would have to seek reinforcements to compete with an even stronger Golden State team. This could lead to more blockbuster moves in the market and completely transform the balance of power in the league. The idea of Ja Morant playing alongside Stephen Curry is fascinating, but it's still a distant possibility. The Warriors would have to part with valuable assets, and the Grizzlies would need to be willing to trade their star player, something that doesn't seem likely in the short term. However, the NBA is an unpredictable league. Unexpected trades happen all the time, and if the Warriors see Morant as the piece that can take them back to the top, perhaps the front office would be willing to make a bold move. Behind the scenes in the NBA, the Golden State Warriors continue to keep a close eye on the market, searching for reinforcements that can not only elevate the team's technical level, but also inject new energy into the roster. Among the speculations that have garnered the most attention, one name has been frequently mentioned: Rhenz Abando. The talented Filipino forward shone brightly in the last FIBA Basketball World Cup, catching the attention of several franchises, including the Warriors. His intensity on the court, combined with his ability to score and defend efficiently, fits perfectly into the dynamic playing style that defines Steve Kerr's team. Abando is not just an athletic player. He is a strategic piece capable of changing the dynamic of a game in seconds. His versatility allows him to play both as a wing and as a shooting guard, which aligns with the small ball philosophy the Warriors have adopted in recent years. On a team that values movement, spacing, and offensive fluidity, having a player with the ability to penetrate, finish, and guard multiple positions is a true asset. Now, imagine him alongside Stephen Curry. While the greatest shooter of all time positions himself for a lethal perimeter shot, Abando could be cutting to the basket, pressuring the defense, and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates. His aggressive attacking style would complement the Warriors' fast pace and quick passes, which have made their offensive system one of the deadliest in the NBA. The opposing defense would be constantly under pressure, unsure where the next attack would come from, reinforcing the strength in numbers ethos. But beyond the impact on the court, Abando's arrival would also have special significance off of it. The Bay Area is home to one of the largest Filipino-American communities in the United States, and the presence of a player like him could further strengthen the bond between the team and this passionate fan base. The Warriors have always had global appeal, but reinforcing their connection with the Asian market would be an important strategic step, not only in terms of fan engagement, but also in expanding the franchise's brand. Filipino flags waving at the Chase Center and a new legion of international fans becoming even more present at the games would be a natural consequence of this move. However, Abando is not the only Filipino talent that could bring benefits to the Warriors. Kai Sotto, a center with an impressive height of 7'3", 2.1 amis, has also attracted interest. His presence in the paint could provide the team with rim protection that hasn't been seen since the days of Andrew Bogut. Sotto is not just a natural defender. He has also been improving his mid-range shooting, which is an important asset for a center in the Warriors' offensive system, which values spacing and versatility. Since the departure of players like JaVale McGee, the franchise has struggled to find a reliable anchor in the paint. Kevon Looney is a tireless warrior and plays his role masterfully, but the Warriors lack a true rim protector who can influence opponents to rethink their plays inside the paint. With his wingspan and defensive instincts, Sotto could fill this gap effectively. Additionally, his mobility makes him a valuable player in the current NBA landscape, where centers need to be able to defend multiple positions and contribute offensively in various ways. If he can further develop his shooting, he could transform into a modern center, capable of spacing the floor and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates. And we can't forget one crucial detail. Sotto already has international experience and is accustomed to competing in different settings. This could make his transition to the NBA smoother, avoiding some of the common challenges that rookies face when entering the league. This prior experience could be a key factor in his ability to establish himself more quickly at the highest level of basketball in the world. The Warriors are in a transitional period, seeking a balance between maintaining their winning identity and renewing the roster with pieces that can sustain the team's competitiveness in the future. Abando and Sotto represent not only promising bets, but also strategic opportunities both on and off the court. Combining talent, versatility, and cultural appeal, both could be valuable additions to the team, helping the franchise continue to evolve and remain one of the forces in the NBA. If we consider the Warriors' playing philosophy, the arrival of Rhenz Abando and Kai Sotto could represent a natural evolution of the system that made the franchise dominant over the last decade. The team has always thrived around a style based on relentless movement, spacing, and fast transitions, turning the life of opposing defenses into a constant nightmare. Abando, with his athleticism and offensive versatility, would fit as a complementary piece that not only adds to the offense, but also helps reinforce perimeter defense. In a team that values multifunctional players, he could play both alongside the starters and energize the second unit, bringing intensity and energy during crucial moments of the game. To understand the impact he could have, just observe the role players like Gary Payton II and Donte DiVincenzo played with the Warriors. Both were key pieces in the rotation due to their ability to defend multiple positions and contribute offensively without needing to monopolize the ball. Abando fits into this same category of players who are relentless on defense and dynamic on offense, making him a viable option both for covering the starters and injecting speed during times of need. Kai Sotto, on the other hand, would fill a gap that the Warriors have been trying to solve for years, a young center with growth potential who doesn't compromise the floor spacing. The franchise has tried different approaches over the last few seasons, varying between ultra-small lineups and adding traditional centers like James Wiseman, who, despite being promising, couldn't secure a role in the rotation. Sotto wouldn't have the pressure of stepping into an immediate starting role, which could be beneficial for his adjustment. He could learn from veterans like Kevin Looney and Draymond Green, absorbing lessons about defensive positioning, basketball IQ, and off-ball movement, key aspects for any center who wants to succeed in Steve Kerr's system. Moreover, the combination of Abando and Sotto could turn the Warriors into an even more unpredictable team. Imagine a lineup with Curry, Abando, Wiggins, Green, and Sotto on the court. We'd have a team capable of spacing the floor, pressuring the opposing defense, and maintaining a strong defensive identity. This flexibility would allow the Warriors to explore new combinations and more easily adjust to the different challenges posed in the playoffs. Another interesting point is the psychological impact that players like Abando and Sotto could bring to the roster. One of the secrets to the Warriors' success has always been their culture of resilience and competitiveness. The team thrives with players who have a chip on their shoulder, meaning those who carry with them an extra motivation to prove their worth. Abando, for example, has already demonstrated that he is a natural competitor, someone who doesn't back down from big challenges. His performance in the Basketball World Cup showed that he has the mindset necessary to face adversity and rise to the occasion in crucial moments. Similarly, Sotto carries the weight of representing a country passionate about basketball, which could serve as extra fuel for his development within the NBA. The Warriors are at a crucial moment, trying to balance the experience of the veterans with the need to refresh the roster. The arrival of young talents who can contribute immediately without compromising the playing philosophy would be an intelligent strategic move. Both Abando and Sotto offer exactly that. Pieces that can be developed within the team system without the need for a drastic overhaul. In addition to the technical impact, there is also the commercial aspect. The Asian market has always been an important territory for the NBA, and the presence of Filipino players on such a popular team as the Warriors could strengthen this connection even more. The numbers don't lie. Asia is one of the biggest consumers of NBA products, and the engagement of the Filipino community with basketball is something that few nations can match. Adding Abando and Sotto could result in significant growth of the Warriors' fan base in Asia, leading to increased sales of licensed products, higher TV viewership, and even the possibility of international preseason games involving the franchise. In a sport where globalization has become a key factor for team success, these are advantages that cannot be overlooked. Looking at the Warriors' history, we see that the team has always been one step ahead when it comes to innovation and adapting to the NBA landscape. The recruitment of international talent has been a successful strategy for many franchises, and the Warriors have the opportunity to explore this avenue with players who not only have the necessary talent, but also fit the team's culture and identity. With all of this in mind, the question remains, will the Warriors take this step and bet on these Filipino prospects? The answer is still unclear, but one thing is certain, the potential for a perfect fit exists. And with the NBA becoming increasingly competitive, any opportunity to add versatile and promising talents should be considered seriously. And so we come to the end of another video. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to leave a like, as it helps the channel grow. And if you're not subscribed yet, take the opportunity to subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Turn on the notification bell to receive all alerts and share with your friends. We'll see you in the next video.